agriculture is not one of those things that you can really predict and put into a nice neat box. You have to take it as it evolves, and we're still really evolving because we're taking a whole industry approach to this. Animal agriculture, this is something that very few people realize. It really is still the foundation of the economy for the world's poorest people. In Haiti, I work with this organization called Makudi Agro Enterprises. It's a for-profit agribusiness. It's been completely designed and is run by Haitians. They partner with Partners of the Americas Farmer to Farmer program and work with farmers like myself who will come into countries, and we teach courses on whatever subjects we happen to be experts on and whatever the needs are that they have requested. Can we create sustainable livelihoods and self-sustaining growth in a community when the driving force for aid is in response to tragedy? I asked this question because one of the things that I really saw after being in Africa during the major drought in 84, 85 is that a lot of the response that happens, a lot of the aid that happens in response to tragedy doesn't end up being sustainable. What happens is when projects are finished, the NGOs leave, things tend to deteriorate, and we know what happens to a nonprofit. It's in and of itself when the donations stop coming in. It falls apart. It's not a sustainable model in and of itself. And so a lot of the charity work and projects that are based on charity tend to fall apart too. I really would like to see us change our strategies so that we start developing really sustainable models rather than it always being in response, to be charity in response to tragedy. What they wanted was to sell rabbit to the French, to the white people, so that they could make money. That was their interest. So I mentioned the benefits of rabbit nutritionally, but my focus on all my talks became, how can we make money? Because that's what they wanted. They want to be able to feed their families. They want to educate their children. They want to get education for adults too, because many of them are realizing that there's things that they could do, only they knew how. We're now into the universities as a result of the earthquake. We had a lot of the students who were displaced from their schools, and they were very desperate to continue with their agricultural or agronomy education. They asked for help from Makudi Agro Enterprises, and so we found some funds to start taking these kids on field trips. The farmers realized they had a valuable resource that they had never thought of before. The students realized they had something that they could offer their countrymen. And a lot of these students are now spending their weekends going back to these villages and helping them for free. They want availability of needed goods, but not on a charity type basis. They are not really interested in having free clothes and free rice. What they want to be able to do is go down to the store and buy it. Veterinary care, they're constantly asking me, can we get medicine for our animals? Can you get somebody to help us when our animals are sick? Thankfully now in Haiti, they have 70 Haitians who graduated from a veterinary school in Cuba. So we're integrating with them and teaching them how to work with rabbits. Medical clinics is another thing that they do ask for. You know, hospitals are great, but very few of them have the opportunity or the ability to get to a hospital. It's either they don't have enough time, they don't have enough money, they don't have access to a vehicle, and they would like to see medical care, at least first aid type services available, more readily available. And then we really need to listen for opportunities that will generate impact. This is something that takes a lot of experience. You have to really be familiar with the culture, you have to be familiar with what the resources are that are available, but listen to things that they say that they would like and try to match that up with opportunities and the right people. That's how this coffee thing happened. I mean, it was just conversations, and people kept asking me about would I help them with coffee, would I help them with coffee, and then all of a sudden I started finding the next piece in the value chain, and then another piece, another opportunity, and we're now at the point where we're actually selling that coffee here in the United States. Here are some possible ideas that are related to agriculture that have architecture needs. No community is built on one project or built by one organization. What does it matter where you are in the world? I mean, you look at our own communities where we live, and even our own apartments where we live, and think about how many different businesses are involved in order to keep that viable. That's what needs to happen in these communities.